fallout from fireworks that light up Madison skies every summer.
It's not exactly fireworks season, but after 19 years of rhythm and booms, environmental advocates are concerned about what all those chemicals may be doing to Warner Park.
The annual celebration of American independence will scale back this year. Thanks so much for staying up with us, everyone. I'm Maria Guerrero.
And I'm Andy Choi. Rhythm and Boom's contract with the city also includes new requirements for cleanup. And as David Douglas joins us to explain, one environmental group is concerned about what the fireworks have left behind. David.
Well, it's no surprise with fireworks. They actually contain all kinds of chemicals, what makes them bright and beautiful. The question is, does all of that burn up in the air, or could some of it be falling back into the water and soaking into the ground?
This is just a fraction
Of the trash Jim Carrier helped pick up after Rhythm and Booms last year.
The wetland here is littered with solid debris that is left over from these beautiful fireworks.
The morning after the sky erupted, Carrier says he and members of Wild Warner, a group that advocates for Warner Park's ecosystem, discovered this: a lagoon littered with what went up and then came down.
These are the cardboard remnants of the shells that fly up and explode.
The findings helped prompt Alder Anita Weir to request funding for an environmental study.
We're worried that seeping down there might be things that could eventually get to the groundwater.
$25,000 for the testing is now all but approved to look and see if perchlorates and heavy metals have lingered in the sediment and soil after the fireworks have left.
We believe it's the largest west of New York City.
Rhythm and Booms organizer Terry Kelly says the display's 13,000 shells in 32 minutes are what make it spectacular. That's not to say he's not worried about the earth.
I think we all value the environment here in Madison, and anything we do, we want to live lightly on the land and do things as carefully as we can.
Part of why he paid for a water study out of his pocket last year. The city has seen the results and they showed no problem. As for the trash in the lagoon, this year he'll be required to make sure it's all gone. A challenge he says his team is prepared to tackle.
We anticipate putting a couple of canoes in the water after this year's event to try to fish out additional cardboard pieces. But as I mentioned before, cardboard is biodegradable. We'd rather leave none, but those small fragments that are there will degrade.
They switched to cardboard shells years ago from the plastic kind they used to use for the sake of the environment. And as for that soil and sediment study, Weir says it's needed because it could show lasting impact over the years in a way a water test simply might not. It still needs final council approval. And so what are the options, you might ask? Well, the things that they tell us is possibly, if there are negative results of the study that they want to conduct, we alternate the fireworks location. There are questions about whether there'd be enough room elsewhere, or maybe we scale back the display. There's also talk about maybe there's another way to get them into the air. For instance, Disney uses compressed air now instead of chemicals to propel those fireworks shells into the air.
You never know that what to think about on the ground when when your eyes are up in the sky like that.
And there have been other studies in other places that have shown it has been a problem, so they want to take a closer look.
Interesting stuff. David Douglas reporting. David, thank you.
Thanks.